The Buddha took a walk along the forest path, simply enjoying the beauty of the earth. At the crossroad, he saw a man in grief praying earnestly. The man recognized the Buddha and fell on his knees. He cried, "Lord Buddha, life is indeed bitter and painful. I was once a man with great wealth, living a life of ease and happiness by trickery and deceit. Those I trusted and loved took everything from me. I am now a wretched man with no one to turn to. How many more times must I be reborn into this world of suffering before I can be liberated?" Pointing to the mango tree by the road, the Buddha said, "Do you see that mango tree? You must be reborn as many times as the number of mangoes on that tree before you know the bliss of liberation from the sufferings of this fleeting world." Seeing that there were at least dozens of mangoes hanging on the tree, the man gasped, "But Lord, I have lived a righteous life in accord with the precepts. Why am I condemned to suffer so much longer?" The Buddha sighed. "That is the way it must be." And he continued his walk. He came across another man praying by the road, and this man too fell on his knees and cried, "Lord Buddha, life is indeed bitter and painful. I have lost all those I loved to the king of death. I am now forlorn and lonely. Life is full of anguish. How many more times must I be reborn into this world of suffering before I know the bliss of liberation?" The Buddha pointed to the field of wild flowers along the road and said, "Before you know the bliss of liberation from the sufferings of this fleeting world, you must be reborn as many times as the number of flowers in that field." Seeing so many hundreds of flowers in the field, the man cried, "But Lord, I have done many good deeds and have followed your teachings by heart. Why must I endure so much more suffering?" The Buddha sighed. "That is how it must be." And he continued on his way. When he came across a tamarind tree, another man fell down on his knees and cried before him, "O Lord, life is full of suffering. During the days I toiled like a slave under the scathing sun. At night I have nothing to sleep on except a pile of grass on the cold, damped earth. Life is nothing but hunger, thirst and loneliness. How many more times must I be reborn into this world of suffering before I know the bliss of liberation?" The Buddha looked up to the tamarind tree, each branch of it bearing many stems, and each stem had dozens of leaves. The Buddha said, "Look at the tamarind tree before you know the bliss of liberation. From the sufferings of this fleeting world, you must be reborn as many times as the number of leaves on that tamarind tree." As the man looked up at the tamarind tree and its thousands of leaves, his eyes filled with tears of gratitude and joy. "How merciful," he said as he prostrated to the ground at the Buddha's feet. To this day, the tamarind seeds are the symbol of faithfulness you see in life. In your life, 1,000 lifetimes, to some may seem like an eternity, but for some it shall pass like a blink of an eye. Do not dwell in pain. Do not dwell in suffering. Do not dwell in the hard times, because just as the sun goes up and goes down every day, so too will your suffering and your happy days exchange with each other every day for the rest of your life. Suffering is a given, but how we respond to it, how we respond to hard times, that is what defines us as humans. That is what defines our character. Be happy even during the worst days. And remember that after the darkest hour of night, the sun always reappears. If you like our videos, please hit the follow, like, and share button. And don't forget to leave a comment below. Your support means the world to us. Thank you.